All right, what's good? What's good? It's your man King Ray Ray back up in the joint. Welcome to another episode of the King Ray Ray Show. We back up in the joint again. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Early morning swing, man. Early morning motivation, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. See the GLG in the joint, man. My brother SJ3 is in the building, man. Salute to you. Salute to you on deck. Adrian Rodriguez, what up with you? Tyler Jackson, what up, TJ? I see Chris Talks in here. King Jamar in the building. Tez in the building. Swore the Wizard, what up? Big Mo, what up with you? Fierce Soul, I see you in the building, man. King Will, what up? Spiritual warfare, yeah, it is, man. Rashad McCory, what's good, brother? What's good, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Haha, Russ says this is an emergency podcast. Man, you know what? I be planning on doing this sometimes in the morning, man, but I be having things come up all the time, man. Like I be having things come up like you can't knock me off my schedule. But if I got some open time, man, I be trying to plug it. So things be coming up all the time, man. Salute to you. So we on today, man. We on the phenomenal. I'm glad you mentioned the camera, brother. We are on the phenomenal Sony A7 IV. Fun fact, I'm about to sell all of my camera gear. Like every single camera that I have, this is the only camera I need. It serves a phenomenal purpose. Where I'm at right now, I can do the show. I can flip the camera around and do regular content. I mean, literally just turn it around, angle it down at me, and do content. Period. And then turn it back around, set it up for the show. So that's what I'm gonna do, man. We're gonna rock it like that. This is what it's gonna be like. And so that's what it's gonna be, man. I got so much camera gear. So all this camera gear you see back here, man, I got 4 cameras up there. I got 2 more cameras over there. I got a camera in the camera bag. I got a camera up there on the shelf up there. And then I got the iPhone and the Android. So we talking, man, I probably got like 10 or 11 cameras, bro. I don't need all these cameras. Then I got a camera right down the sticks, man, that I recorded content with yesterday. So it's time for me to, downside maybe getting out of some of this stuff, man, and just keep it minimal. Keep it minimalist, man. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. All right, let's get into it, man. I see you, man. I don't know. I like my angle, bro. I like my angle. I'm gonna stick with it. So let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. All right. So here's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna dive into this topic. Appreciate y'all coming through today, man. SJ3, my brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Salute King Red Red, the realest of the real. Salute to you, man. Appreciate the dime, man. Always supporting, man. It's family, man. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into it, man. How to build a life of peace and prosperity by forgetting the past and leaving people behind. Now, why did I not say leaving people behind and forgetting the past? Because you can't leave people behind until you forget the past. People will always be able to hold you to your past until you let it go, until you let go of the feelings of guilt, until you let go of the feelings of disdain towards yourself, until you let go of the lack of self-love and self-respect based on things that you did years ago that you've since overcome and sworn out of your life. So first you forget about the past, and then you leave the people behind. Let's get into it, brothers. Let's get into it. Now, let's understand this first. It takes intestinal fortitude to forget the past. Because what you must understand, without focusing on the past, all you have are hopes and dreams. That's it. Your goals are based on your dreams. How well you perform those goals are based on your hopes. So you hold on to the past because you know the past. To your own detriment sometimes. You hold on to the past because you know the past. You're familiar with the past. It doesn't matter how bad it is. It doesn't matter how negative it is. Even the good from the past must be left behind because it is but a distant memory. The good and bad from your past have one thing in common. They're gone. You use both of them to build a positive perspective on yourself, a positive perspective on your life, and then you leave them behind. Most people don't have the intestinal fortitude to do that. So what do they want to do? They want you to stay back there with them. Most people don't even have the intestinal fortitude to follow you out of the past. If you show them the path and say, this is the exact path I took, they'll stick to the past. They can't let those people go because they can't let the past go. Let me tell you the saddest story, man, that you'll ever hear in your life. Somebody you haven't seen in 10, 15, 20 years. And when you see them, all they want to talk about is what y'all did 20 years ago. Some of the stuff you don't even remember it. You're in your mind, you asking yourself, I mean, was that me? Was I there? You can't even recall these things. Why? Because you built so much future on top of the past. You've got so much past excitement, past accomplishment, past joy, past goal achievement between that 20 years ago and now that you can't even remember that. It's so far under the pile that you're like, wait a minute, bro. For real? So it causes you more confusion and delusion. You're like, wait a minute, man, this guy, or shall I say, their delusion causes you confusion. But it's a sad situation, man, because someone feels like they haven't accomplished anything in their life that they rather talk about. So they go back to talk about the thing that they think will be the most exciting to you, the most inviting to you. And those are people that I don't want to talk to. Those are people that see me every blue moon. You got to be where I am to see me. You can't contact me. You can't do any of that. You just be where I am and you see me. And it's a sad situation to see someone who's gone the past 20 years of their lives holding on to a past that can't benefit you in any way. Anyway. So you see people living a life in the present, but when you take the cover off, they're just covering up their past. They don't want you to know that they're stuck. They don't want you to know that they can't grow. And if you deal with those type of people and you look around at your circle and they're stuck in the past, well, guess what, my friend? You too are stuck in the past. You too are stuck in the past. And it's not a good place to be. It's not a positive place to be. Yes, you will tell yourself that being stuck in the past is a positive place, but it's not. You are depending on the past and the people in the past to give you validation, to give you satisfaction with life, to remind you of what you used to be. Well, guess what? You can't even be that anymore. So you're living your life in limbo. So the goal is to build a life of peace and prosperity by forgetting the past and leaving people behind. Well, how do you do that, King Ray Ray? You just said it's hard. Yeah, it is hard. But everything in life that's worth doing is difficult. Everything is. The key to happiness is not something that you can find outside of you. People get all the money in the world and realize that I'm just rich and miserable now. People get all the fame in the world and just realize I'm miserable, but now there's millions of people that can see my misery. So what do? I got to try to act like I'm not miserable. While I'm going home every night crying tears, while I'm going home every night being inebriated on multiple things sometimes. And then they find me and I'm non-responsive. So what the first thing you need to do is understand that no matter where you are right now, the past is the worst version of you. Anytime you become who you were in the past, you are regressing in life. That is the absolute worst version of you. Now, we're not talking about your financial status now. If you're going to let that define you, then this ain't for you. You need to go think about something else. We're talking about you as an individual, you as a being, you as a mental, emotional, spiritual, physical being. Your past is the worst version of you. It's the dumbest version of you. It's the slowest version of you. It's the youngest version of you. It's the least calm version of you. It's the least wise version of you. It is the version of you that is the foundation of who you are right now. And what is the foundation? It is something you build on top of. Now, if you put raggedy wood and raggedy wood beams and your basement beams are crooked, that's on you. But anything is better than being in your foundational state. So you got to ask yourself why you're trying to hold on to the past, why you're trying to be who you were, why you're trying to go back. Let me tell you something. It's not even a wise thing to say the good old days. You don't ever hear me say the good old days. No one who knows me will ever hear me say the good old days. There are no good old days. These are the good new days. What you mean good old days? Look, boy, you see this device right here? You see this device right here? I don't even want to upgrade it. Samsung S22 Ultra. I only want to upgrade it. Why? Because technology has gotten so great that you really can't get better technology anymore. If you got the best technology 4 years ago, now you ain't gonna get better technology. I might be able to get one with a better camera, but who needs a better camera? This camera is phenomenal. I'm still stuck with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I looked at the 13 Pro Max, not good enough. I looked at the 14 Pro Max, not good enough. I looked at the 15 Pro Max, not good enough. Why? Because my Galaxy S22 Ultra has a better camera than all of those. So I don't need my iPhone for a camera, but functionality, I'm not getting any better functionality. Not for my use case. So when we say the good old days, what? I don't have to worry about a carburetor on my car. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about going out there pouring gas in my car sometime, man, when it's cold. I don't even let my car warm up. I just crank it from inside. The good old days, there is nothing, there is nothing that you can point to from 50 years ago or 100 years ago that's better than now. Nothing. Nothing. You might look at the value of a dollar, okay? But is it really better? Is it really better? Yeah, when a dollar was worth a dollar, it was good. But you might bring home $50 a week. Could you imagine bringing home 50? Could you imagine bringing home $50 a day? Could you imagine it? $50 a day, that's $300 a week. That's $1,200 a month. Well, 350 a week. But nobody's working 7 days, so we're gonna call it 6 days. 300 a week. See, I want y'all to understand that when you think about the past and you think it's the best version of you and you think it's the best version of your life, you kidding yourself. It may have been easier, but it was easier because your life was greasier and sleazier. You didn't have anything. You didn't have any responsibilities. So if you think not having any responsibilities is a better way of life, you still think like a child. You have a childlike mind. So what do you think you deserve? You think like a child. You deserve for somebody to treat you like a child. You deserve for people to treat you with the lack of respect that an adult would receive. You deserve for people to look at you and say you're not capable or you're not worthy or you're not able or you're not built to or you're not smart enough or you're not grown enough. That's the type of treatment you deserve. You have to always remember, man, that the key to your joy is to continue to grow. The ultimate joy comes from growth. In 5 years now, if you go back 5 years ago and now 5 years later, you've grown exponentially, you have nothing but joy. 5 years from now, when you look back at today and you've grown exponentially, you'll have nothing but joy. That's all life is. When you look at the trees, seeing a tree grow, it's joy. Everything rejoices when trees grow. We get oxygen. Birds get places to nest and roost and do all of these things. Man, listen, the fruit falls off. Everything gets to eat it. Man, listen, growth is what this is about. And you can't grow backwards. If you think your past was better than your present, you need to work a little bit hard on your present. Because one thing your past can't build is your future. Your present will become the past that your future is built upon. The past that your present is built upon can't benefit anything in your life anymore. As long as you're learning the lessons and turning them into the blessings that you need, then you just have to keep moving forward. Stop holding on to the past because that's where the worst people in your life, the most negative people in your life, the most lecherous people in your life, the most evil and wicked people in your life, the most selfish people in your life, the most dangerous people in your life. That's where they're all lurking. And they just want to get their hooks in you and pull you back that way. Now, let me tell you something, brothers. There's only one thing in the world worse than making no progress. Only one thing in the world that trumps making no progress as far as negative energy in your own life goes. And that is taking 2 steps forward to take 4 steps back. Losing progress is worse than not making any progress at all. And focusing on what the past, focusing on what you used to be, focusing on the people you used to have. That's why when people say, man, the one that got away, I can't think of no one that got away. I'm the one that got away. I can't think of the one that got away. Got away from what? Because anytime you think about that, you think about where you are right now. Will that one have fit into the life you have? See, let me tell you something. Letting the wrong people get close to you will keep you stuck in the past. Because we're human beings and the people that are close to us, when they rely on us, we want to be reliable. When they depend on us, we want to be dependable. When they need us, we want to be there for them. And being dependable and reliable and needed all the time will hold you back. When the elevator says only 1,200 pounds can get in here, it's a health hazard for everybody. When that extra 100 pounds getting there, now it's 1,300 pounds of people in here. That thing said 1,200. Now, if it goes down, then we all wrong. Let me tell you something, boy. When that thing starts shivering, if that thing get one alert, hey, we reach capacity, I'm going to say, man, y'all make a way and let me off this thing. I'll take the stairs. I'm going to take the stairs, man. Self-preservation is number one law of the land for a reason. It's put in place to teach you, hey man, you got to let people go. Hey man, you got to start worrying about the past, bro. Let me tell you, people tell my man, I would never move back to my hometown. Not because I don't like it, because I've lived there for years. Why I want to move back? If you move away, why move back home? Who does that? Man, listen, bro, I've seen people do it all the time, and I don't know anyone who long-term made out good going back home. No one. When you leave, what are you going back for? What's the purpose in going backwards? Now, unless you make a move and then within the first year you gone back because it was a bad move, man, you've been gone 5, 10, 15, 20 years. What the hell you going back home for? What's the purpose in that? Listen, going back home is the equivalent of moving in with your parents, man. Now if you live in a nice quaint town, man, and you want to go there when you retire, that's something different. When you retire back home, that's something totally different. I'm talking about you being out here active on your grind, out here getting it. You ain't retirement age yet. You ain't thinking about retirement, and then you just end up going back home to your hometown for what? That's what happened in the hood all the time. The guys, they make good, they get out of the hood, and they always going back. Master P brother Corey Miller ain't gonna never get out because he couldn't stay out. Cash Money artist BG just getting out. Did 14 years because he couldn't stay out. Magnolia Slim, Soulja Slim, as y'all know him, couldn't stay out. And even if you don't live in the hood, why are you going back? Let me tell you something. People who saw you as a loser don't want to see you win. Or people who saw you as you were training for the fight. Yes, they all support you. They all support you. But you know what? When you become the champion, they don't support you anymore. Why? Because the champion's life is different from the challenger's life. When you become the champ, your endorsements are different. Your opportunities to make money are different. Your opportunities to travel are different. The people you meet are different, and they are people who can do what? What's the one thing we talk about? Help you on the process of your progress. See, when you grinding up, there's people who can help you grind up. But once you get to the epitome of your industry, some of those people, most of those people can't help you anymore. You think Rich Paul and I can't remember the other cat name. You think those the only couple of friends that LeBron had growing up? As popular as he was, as good as he was, as much positive energy as he attracted to him, as much fame and notoriety as he had. You think those the only two for Maverick? You think you think Rich Paul and Maverick are the only two friends he had? No, there were probably hundreds of hangers on. All the teammates he's had over the years, all the people he's met in the AAU camps and all of that. You think they're the only two? But no, they're the only two that can help him on this level. They're the only two that can benefit him on this level. That's what life is about. You got to move forward and only take the people with you who can benefit the next level. If you can't benefit the next level, you're not going. I'm not going to let you hold me back. Joker with a G-Wagon in the projects. GC, salute to you, brother. Appreciate you being in the joint. My squad representative, man. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to my brother for life. King Ray Ray, salute to you, GC. Good to see you in the joint, man. Hey, man, appreciate the 2-bone BOA. I chose the stairs as well. I choose the stairs as well any day. All right, man, let's try to keep it. Let's try to keep the channel, man, the way they're supposed to be, man. This is the King Ray Ray channel. This is King Ray Ray is the host of this show. BOA is on the Book of Alpha channel. Let's make sure we keep it copacetic, man. Let's keep it sliding. I know we look the same, man, but we look the same, but we not the same. That's my twin brother. BOA is my twin. And I would prefer if y'all didn't call me my twin's name. King Abraham, what's good, brother? I see you in the building, man. A-Rod in the building, man. What up, which I think I saw A-Rod already. Who else we got up in the joint, man? I appreciate all you brothers being in here. If I forgot to shout you out so far, man, I appreciate you being in the joint. So I want y'all to understand, I want y'all to keep these things in mind. You can't worry about nobody else's joy. Bro, I'm not worrying about nobody else's joy. The only joy you got time to focus on is your own. You do not have time to waste on other people's joy. You cannot be concerned about it. I beseech the Most High for me. I pray for you, but when I beseech the Most High, I beseech him on my behalf. Every single blessing that come my way, I need it for me. Now, if God put on my heart to share it with you or branch it out to you, I'll do that. But man, I'm not worried about nobody else's joy. You know how hard it is to find joy. You know how hard it is to find peace. You know how hard it is to find prestige. See, you can find prosperity. There's plenty of people with prosperity, but they don't have no peace. That's why they partying and clubbing and blowing and drinking and doing all that. That's why they're doing all that. That's why they're running around and dating all these different people, because they don't have no joy. They have prosperity without peace. There are plenty of people with peace. Go to some of these third world countries. Some of the more peaceful people you're going to see are people that live in a village. If you've never experienced village life, like if you've never experienced life for people who live in a village, there's some places in America you can experience that. There's some pockets like Maine, places that you would never think to go. Maine, Connecticut, Mississippi, San Antonio, certain parts of Georgia, even certain parts of Florida. There are people who live a village life. They have peace, but not a lot of prosperity. But their peace is their prosperity. Well, guess what? We want peace and prosperity. We don't just want the peace without the prosperity. We certainly don't want the prosperity without the peace. If we had to choose one, we're going to choose the peace, but we want both of them. We want the peace and prosperity. Why can't we get the peace and prosperity? Yes, we can get the peace and prosperity, but it's a long, tedious journey, and you got to be willing to make the tough decision to let the past go and let the people letting the past stay back there with it. If you figure out how to get over the past And you lead the people back there, you never let those people come back into your life. Man, there are people from the past. Let me tell you something, boy. If the people from the past are in your life, you have regressed. Your life is going backwards, man. Your life going the other way, dog. You can't afford to do that, man. People are takers of prosperity. When you are prosperous, you cannot have non-prosperous people in your circle. I think the biggest mistake that we all make is to allow non-prosperous people into our circle of prosperity and non-peaceful people into our circle of peace. It doesn't matter who they are. If they haven't found their own peace, they were still yours. If they haven't found their own prosperity, they were still yours. Am I saying that people should already be where they're going to be? No, but they should have a dream and a goal to get there. Rich Paul had a dream and a goal to get there. He said, okay, you go play ball. I'm going to be an agent. I'm going to be your agent. Maybe not your first agent, but at some point, I'm going to be your agent. You know what? Go look up who LeBron's agent is. These are the types of things that you must do in your life all the time. You can never drop the ball on these things. You can never stop protecting yourself. You can never stop prioritizing yourself. You can never stop putting yourself first in everything that you do. You can't do that. Now you may say, well, you're supposed to put God first. Well, if you still need me to say that, then something's wrong with you. But I'll say it if you need me to. You put God first now, but then you put you first. You put you first as a human, as a person. You put God first in everything, but as a person, you come first. There's God, then there's you. There's never God, then somebody else, then you. You got to understand that, and it's tough to do if you have your brain stuck on what people want, if you have your brain stuck on what society demands, if you have your brain stuck on being Mr. Nice Guy. Let me tell you something, brothers. Letting the wrong people get too close will harm your spiritual man. Because in order for your spiritual man to stay connected with the Most High, bro, you have to keep it clean. You have not just clean, you have to keep it as pristine as possible. You got to stay focused. 100% of the time, you got to stay focused. You can't get sidetracked. And the only people who sidetrack you from doing what you have to do is people who don't have anything to do. The only people who don't respect that your time comes at a premium is people who have too much time on their hands. The only people who don't understand that you must dedicate yourself to the Most High is people who dedicate themselves to the world. The only people who understand that money don't grow on trees and you are not a bank is people who don't hustle hard and focus enough on any one thing long enough to put themselves in a position of prosperity. Are you wrong for avoiding those people? Am I wrong for avoiding those people? Because guess what? If the shoe was on the other foot, those people would avoid you. Those people would avoid me. Why? Because it's the proper thing to do. It's the proper thing to do, man. MR, appreciate the dub. The past is just that. The future is now. Yes, it is, man. Every day we live in right now. Today is the future. Every day we living in the right now. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna play a clip for y'all right quick of Will Smith telling us about that, man. Phenomenal clip. Taki Salam, salute, salam, salute to you, man. Salute. Appreciate the 5 bone. Hey man, $2. My fault, Ray. I didn't know that. All right, bro. You ain't even had the super chat, man. I was just putting it out there. You reminded me of it. Nicholas Whitaker, appreciate the 5 bone, man. Appreciate the game. My life has improved tremendously. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate it. You know, the main thing is, man, we have to understand that every day you wake up, it's a no, it's the next round of the fight. This is a fight that never ends. What round are you on now? Depending on how old you are. Think about it. There's 12 months in a year. Every year is a fight. Every year you fighting to make it to the next fight. You fighting to keep your belt. There ain't no such thing as a knockout. All these rounds, they go to all these go to the scorecard. God is the judge. He determines whether you move forward. That's how I look at my life. My life is a prize fight. Every month is a round. In these 30 days or 31 days in this month, what am I going to do? Well, let's say 36 or 37 days in this month. Because we got to take those 4 Sabbath days. Sometimes it's 5 of them, but most time it's 4 Sabbath days. So we talking about in these 36, 37 days every month, then what are we talking about? How many rounds am I going to win in this fight this year? All I got to do is win by decision. Yes, it will be great to win by unanimous decision. All you got to do is win by decision. Now, your goal is to win on all 3 judges' cards. You understand me? That's your goal. But the bottom line is every month, dog, you got to be throwing them. You got to be throwing hands, bro. You can't give up, because if you give up, you might get knocked out. The only way this fight ends is if you get knocked out. You can't knock out life. Eventually, you're going to get knocked out, but why get knocked out now? Why get knocked out while you in your prime? Eventually, life is going to win, but it ain't going to win. I tell you what, man, life may get me one day, but life ain't going to get me because I give up and stop fighting. You understand me? That's what I mean. You got to look at life like that. Every year is a 12-round prize fight to see if you're going to be able to retain your championship. Every year you win, you're a champion. Let me tell you something. You can't go back and fight your old fights. Those opponents are gone. Every year is a new, tougher opponent. And you got to remember that. There's no letting up. There's no chill time. There's no laying back. You got to go, man. Because not just to fight for you to succeed, not just to fight for you to protect yourself. There's a fight for your spirit, bro. Don't forget that. There's a fight for your spirit, man, every day. Are you going to maintain? Or are you going to be overcome and overtaken by the forces of evil that are trying to overtake us? Are you going to be focused on those people who seem to be living a good life, but you know they live in foul? You know they're doing things that are against the Most High. Yes, money looks good. It looks good. But what are they doing? Is that the only reward that you can get from God? Money? Is that all you can focus on? Is that the only thing that's great? There are many things for us to focus on, many blessings that God gives. And you know what one of them is? Peace. And like we stated earlier, if we got to pick one, we're going to pick peace over prosperity. If we got to be stuck with one of those blessings, baby, we picking peace over prosperity every time, because peace has its own type of prosperity. Finding peace is prosperity. Peace of mind is priceless, brothers. Sandy Wyatt, appreciate the dub. You are teaching truths that the majority of people don't want to hear. But I thank God for your brother blessings. I appreciate you, Sandy. Appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up. Appreciate your support as well. You know, the reality of the scenario is this, brothers. Being weak for the human desire, the human touch, the human engagement. I'm not saying we don't need that, but I'm saying being weak for it, which means when it's time for you to resist it, you can't. When it's time for you to avoid those people, you can't. When it's time for you to fast, when it's time for you to abstain, when it's time for you to refrain, you can't. That will be the downfall of you. That will change your trajectory. It will change the way you view your life, and it will change the way your life views you. Your life is a living thing. It's not just, oh, it's life. Think about life. Life and death is what? Being alive and not being alive. So your life, stop looking at it as this physical journey that you're on. Look at your life as a living thing so you can protect it like a living thing. Let me tell you something. There's a sofa right there. See that sofa? There's a chemical I put on that sofa to clean it that I won't put on my son if I put him in the tub. Why? Because he's a living thing. There's a chemical I put on my tire to make it shine, that I won't put on my dog. Why? Because it's a living thing. I'll pour Clorox in some water that I'm going to use to clean. But I won't pour Clorox in my flower pot. Why? Because it's a living thing. Your life is a living thing. It's called life. It's not called dead. It's not called unalive. It's not called, not breathing. It's called life. Life is a derivative of alive. Alive is a derivative of life. They're both the same thing. You have life, you're alive. If you're alive, you have life. Stop looking at your life as this thing you got to do, and start looking at your life as this thing you got to protect. Start looking at your life as this thing that you got to direct. Start looking at your life as this thing you got to constantly inspect. Start looking at your life as this thing that you have to select as your number one objective: to protect, to build, to cherish, because you only get one. If you got one child, guess what? You can have another one. Even if you got to adopt it, you can get another child. If you got one car, guess what? You can have a yard full of cars. If you got one home, you become a real estate magnet. If you got one pair of shoes, go buy you another one. I got 10 cameras. I'm trying to get down to one. I got an Intel MacBook Pro over there. I got the M3 Max right here. And I got a Helios Predator 300 right there. That's 3 computers. 3 high-tech computers. 3 high-performing computers. You can always get more of those. I can go get another one if I want. Life, you only get one. How can you not cherish the thing that you only get one? I don't care what you do, you only get one. $1 billion won't buy you another one. All the praying in the world won't buy you another one. You are destined to have this one life. So, how are you not understanding the need to protect it? How are you eating things that are going to destroy you? How are you drinking things that are going to destroy you? How are you doing things that are going to destroy you? When you destroy this one, it's over. You don't get another one. Why is it so hard to view life as the significant, important thing that it is, man? This is all you got. People say, man, why you be chilling at the crib? Cause the crib is I'm chilling. I'm cool. Everything I need is in here. Why? What? I just need to go hang out somewhere for the sake of it. I listen. I travel so much I have to fly. If it wasn't for that, I still wouldn't be flying. I only started flying about 5, 6 years ago, and I wasn't planning on flying nowhere, anywhere. Even to this day, man. Listen, I had a trip planned for Kenya in August, man. I canceled that thing, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I had some projects come up, man. Um, Quick note here, man. I'm executive producer of my first movie now, man, and I'll keep y'all updated on that, man. I'll be back and forth on set, man. Taking pictures and hanging out with the stars just to be on the set. I'm an artist too, so I'm kind of like to be on set, man, when the people come in. But got a few names in this one, man. So it's gonna be phenomenal. But that's neither here nor there. Just want to put that on your mind. So I'm telling you, brothers, you have to understand that your life is all you have, man. Don't waste it. Listen, I want you to understand how fast life goes by. There's only 24 hours in a day. If you sleep 8 and work 8, you only got 8 hours a day to focus on building and protecting your life. If you work more than 8, you got fewer hours. If you sleep less than 8, or no less than 6, if you sleep less than 6 to 8 hours, you're not protecting your life. If you can't sleep for 6 to 8 hours, figure out what's wrong with you. Maybe you ain't working enough. Let me tell you something. If you can't sleep 6 to 8 hours, work out before bed. I ain't talking about play around. I'm talking about get you a serious, good workout before bed and then get in the shower and then go to bed. I promise you, you can sleep like a baby. So these are things that we look out for these things, man. If you're not in shape, you're not being in shape is not about looking good to people. That's a byproduct of being in shape. Being in shape is about you. If you're not in shape, you don't even care about yourself. If you got a beer gut, dog, you don't care about yourself. We always talk about all these other things. Take care of your money. I'm not listening to nobody tell me nothing about no money if they ain't in shape. Because money, you can work on it for 20 years and not get to it. And then you finally get to it. If you work on taking care of your body for 20 years, you're gonna be in shape. I don't listen to nobody tell me about money if they ain't in shape. Oh, you can't tell me nothing about no life, no nothing. Even if you're older, then you could just be skinny. You understand? You could be skinny and older. I think skinny is in shape. In shape don't mean having huge muscles. That's being muscular. That don't mean having huge muscles being in shape. It means having low body fat. That's what it means. That's what being in shape means. It means that your body has the shape that a body's supposed to have. That's what being in shape means. You have to take care of what you can take care of every day. You can't control how much money you're gonna make every day. It's hit and miss. It's a shot in the dark. But what you can control is how you take care of this body, which is the castle that houses your life. Without a body, you ain't got a life. Go find me the person with a life that ain't got a body. Find me. Go find me the person. If you live in one of these spirits, these places with all these spirits and all that, I live in one. I live in one. But if you live in a place, go find me the one that's living a happy, prosperous life without a body. You got to keep this body clean because the spirit of God will not dwell with your spirit, man, if you don't keep this body clean. And I don't care what nobody say. Ain't no amount of money gonna help you get up off that hospital bed. But you can keep yourself off of it. Ain't no amount of money gonna keep you from being an amputee. But you can keep yourself from being that. And I ain't even talking about going to the gym, busting it up, being a gym rat, or none of that. I'm talking about taking care of yourself, your body, your being, taking care of yourself, making sure your spirit feels whole, making sure your mind feels whole. Don't do things that destroy brain cells. Why are you doing that? Don't do things that destroy your liver and your kidney. Don't do that. Don't do things that destroy your joints. Don't do that. What are we doing all that for? It doesn't make sense. Famo, salute, salute. So I want y'all to understand, man, that you have to take care of yourself in every way. But the foundation of you taking care of yourself is your spirit, man, your physical man, and your mental man in that order. Because taking care of your mental man doesn't benefit your spiritual man directly. Taking care of your physical man benefits your mental man directly. There's a huge influx of dopamine release, man, when you work out. Working out makes you feel good, makes you feel smart, makes you feel healthy. And health is wealth. So working out makes you feel wealthy. Be careful what you allow into your brain because what you allow into your brain will stain your brain. I don't care who you are. If you allow the wrong thing into your brain, it will leave your brain with a stain. Protect your brain, protect your mindset. Stop watching things. Stop consuming things that are negative to you. Stop taking in things that affect you in a negative manner, that change your outlook on yourself, change your outlook on the world. Stop watching stuff that make you afraid to go outside. Stop watching stuff that make you worry. Stop making stuff that make you fear. Fear is not a godly state to exist in. All of your fear should go to God. Fear of the only thing Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. There's nothing else you can fear that will give you wisdom. Focus on your life. Focus on your life. Because if you focus on being your own healer, then you won't be deceived by stealers of joy who are disguising themselves as healers of joy. I tell you that all the time. Most people you meet are stealers of joy disguised as healers of joy. Unhealed healers is what they are. If you can't heal yourself, I'm going to take my chances without your healing practices. You understand me? So I want y'all to understand that, brothers. It is such a short life to live. There's 24 hours in every day. There's only 365 of those days every year. Every year. So if you only got 8 hours to do the things you need to do, then you got to think about this. And I want y'all to think about this. Bro, there's only 2,920 hours a year. That's all that is. And then you take the 52 Sabbath days, you got the rest away from that. That's 2,000. That's 2,868 hours. So what time do we have to waste? What time do we have to chase? None, brothers. We don't have no time. We are supposed to be living with purpose. And the purpose is not just to make more money, make more money, make more money. Yes, financial blessings are good. They come to men who have the gift that they're supposed to make a lot of financial earnings on. But maybe your gift is as a teacher. If your gift is as a teacher, you're not going to be rich financially as a teacher. But if you can have a comfortable life, maybe you'll never be a millionaire. But the goal is not to be a millionaire. The goal of being a millionaire is for people who lack spiritual astuteness. Because if you have spiritual astuteness, you know that focusing on that is not the way to get it. Almost everybody's focused on that. Being where you need to be, doing what God put you here to do, that's your best chance to get whatever God has for you in this world. And you got to do that by focusing on capitalizing on your time. That's why I'm up at 10 o'clock doing a show this morning, because I had time and I wasn't going to waste that time. And I also think this is a phenomenal time for us to congregate in the morning, don't you? Wouldn't you men agree with that? Put a one in the chat if you agree that this is a phenomenal time for us to be coming on. 9, 10 a.m. in the morning. Put a one in the chat if you truly believe this is a phenomenal time for us to be coming on. And if you believe that 10 is a phenomenal time for us to be coming on, barring an act of God, we'll be back on again tomorrow at the same time. Because I think it's a phenomenal time for us to be on. Phenomenal way to start our day. Phenomenal way to start our listen, brothers. I want you to understand, man. I care about what happens to you. I care about you taking care of yourself, because I know the key to life, the key to building a life of peace and prosperity is forgetting the past, leaving people behind, so you can focus your mind on doing the things that you need to do with the time that you have left here. With the time that you have left, not with the money you have left. Let me tell you something, brothers, and I'm going to leave y'all with this. You know, we're supposed to have a will, last will and testament, right? It tells who you're going to leave your property to, who you're going to leave your money to, who you're going to leave your businesses to, who you're going to leave your properties to, who you're going to leave your keepsakes to, who's the Who's the beneficiaries of your insurance, your life insurance? Who's over your estate? Who's the trustee? Who's whatever it is? You know the one thing you never leave behind to anyone is time. You never leave time behind to anyone. Why? Because it's the only thing that you're going to run out of. When you're gone, the time goes with you. So your time must be predicated on you. You must take care of you first. That's why when I tell you to prioritize yourself, put yourself first, I'm not telling you to not care about people. I'm telling you when you're gone, they still have time. You can't have other people's priorities taking most of your time. They have their own time. This is your time. Use it wisely. Sandy Wyatt, welcome, welcome. Appreciate you joining the family. UK Prince, I saw you early, man. Ice Cold G, I see you, man. All right, brothers. So I want y'all to understand, man. I appreciate you joining Sandy Wyatt. So listen, I see you men again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. on the East Coast, 8 a.m. on the West Coast. Y'all be here, man, because we will be here. And I'll say one more thing before we get out of here, man. Don't let your relationships with people weigh you down because you take so much responsibility for them. Relationships are a two-way endeavor. Everyone's responsible for their part. I saw a post where somebody was saying yesterday that all fathers get for Father's Day is a text. And I thought about it and I said, well, you know what? Do you need a gift? If you do, tell your children that. We're all different. If you need a gift, if you need more recognition than that, tell them that. They're only doing what they've been taught to do habitually. Because you know what? That's what most of us did. I didn't, but that's what most of us did. Mother's Day is this huge, big thing. Father's Day is not. Well, where I'm from, your father is your creator, used with the blessing of the Most High to give you life. And so where I'm from, he takes precedence and priority. And if you feel like you should, let it be known. All right, brothers. Brothers and sisters, I know women being, I know the sisters being here watching as well. All right, brothers, we're gonna get on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all being in the joint. Y'all put God first, keep grinding and growing. Let me make sure I didn't skip anybody on the joint, man. I did. Uncle Capone's wisdom, appreciate the dime. I'm done being a people pleaser and putting everybody need before my own. I'm choosing my peace of mind over everything and everyone else. You made me realize I've been acting weak. You know, brother, we all act weak. We were raised to act weak. No, we were raised to care more than we should about people and their problems, care more than we should about people and their plight. That's how men get caught up in paying bills for people that he just met. That's how men get caught up in putting in marrying somebody that he just met who's in a bad situation. That's how men get caught up in that because we were taught to be too kind. We were taught that kindness means that we must be openly and readily available to everyone whenever they need us. That's not the case. UK Prince, appreciate the dime, brother. I appreciate you, man. All right, man. Let's get ready to slide out of here, man. Everybody else, man, who contributed, man. Sandy White, I appreciate you. JB Trucker, appreciate the dime, man. Appreciate the dime. Nicholas Whitaker, man, I appreciate you. Amen. Appreciate you. Taki, appreciate you. MR, appreciate it, brother. GC, appreciate it, man. GLG representative. My squad, always on deck. Amen. Again, I appreciate you, man. And SJ3, my brother, my squad representative, fam. I appreciate you, man. Let's get ready to slide out of here, man, so we can all get ready to get into the rest of our day. And like we always say, put God first. Keep grinding and growing. Peace.